Hello, my name is Mauricio Di Donato Sanchez, and with the help of my partner, Anderson Camilo Cárdenas Guarín, we are going to talk about operating systems evolution, their trends, security, and user experience. iOS is the official name of Apple's iPhone operating system. It's a single-user OS designed for the company's smartphone, the iPhone. The iPhone, like many smartphones, are closed devices. Their components cannot be modified after purchase. Since its release, no other company aside from Apple have used iOS. In the current day, all you need to run the latest iOS version is an iPhone released in 2018 or beyond. Apple products like the iPad, the iWatch, and the Mac are all very compatible with each other as they are part of Apple's ecosystem. They all share the same hardware and software architecture with CPUs like the M1 or M2. They also share the same chipsets, APIs, frameworks, developer tools. All of this makes for a great unified experience. The company has come a long way since 1976, the year when they launched the Apple I, a computer that lacked an operating system. Many years later, after successes like the Macintosh, in 2001 Apple released Mac OS X, a Unix-based OS that used a hybrid kernel called XNU, the same kernel being used today. Each Apple product currently runs on an operating system that trace their roots back to iOS or Mac OS. Conclusion: from no operating system to one of the best mobile operating systems and digital ecosystems, Apple's evolution has significantly impacted technology and the world. However, these advantages come with drawbacks. Apple products are expensive and they lack compatibility with third-party hardware. While it's unlikely that we'll see iOS surpassing Windows as the most used desktop OS in the near future, Apple's influence remains undeniable.
Let's continue with Android. Android is a mobile operating system developed by Google that has become one of the most used operating systems on mobile devices around the world. This is a single-user operating system designed primarily for smartphones and tablets. Requirements. The hardware requirements for Android vary depending on the version and type of device we are using. However, we can see how they have increased throughout their versions. Here we can see how in Android Alpha, 128 MB of RAM was required, and in Android Lollipop, 1 GB of RAM is required. General aspects. Android is an operating system designed primarily for mobile devices such as smartphones and tablets. In terms of hardware usage, the ideal Android architecture involves the use of the ART virtual machine, which requires more storage space during application installation but reduces resource usage and load on the central processing unit on running applications. This results in an increase in battery life and improvement in system performance. Evolution. Android have had several versions like Android Alpha, Android Beta, Android Cupcake, Android Donut, Android Eclair, Android Froyo, Android Gingerbread, Android Honeycomb, Android Ice Cream Sandwich, Android Jelly Bean, Android KitKat, and Android Lollipop. But these two, KitKat and Lollipop, are the most important, since here the transition from the Dalvik virtual machine to the ART virtual machine is presented, which since Android Lollipop completely replaced Dalvik and has proven to be much more efficient in terms of performance. Architecture. Android is based on the Linux kernel and follows a layered operating system architecture. It includes the Linux kernel at the lowest layer, followed by user space that contains specific libraries, followed by the application framework that contains system processes and services, and finally user applications. Conclusion. Nowadays, Android is widely used due to its versatility on a wide range of devices, from smartphones to televisions and watches. Its popularity is due in part to its open source nature and its price, because Google does not charge a fee for the use of its operating system, allowing manufacturers to customize and adapt the system to their specific needs. In terms of updates, Android has improved its update process over the years, with more frequent releases and regular security updates.
Cloud OS General Aspects. Cloud OS is the name given to operating systems used for managing cloud resources. Essentially, it serves the same function of traditional operating systems, management of software and hardware resources, with the added difficulty of managing not only one computer, but hundreds, sometimes even thousands. Cloud OS is designed for multiple users, with the main goal of providing a easy-to-use interface for users. Cloud OS operates independently of a specific hardware. It runs on the cloud. The OS just facilitates communication between local environments and the service, a process similar to a traditional OS invoking system calls. Cloud OS as a whole does not demand much computational power from the user. Instead, it provides it. Going from that, one could say that to use cloud computing, only basic specifications are needed, like its standard CPU, RAM, and local storage. Cloud OS have evolved over time to effectively manage cloud resources and provide convenient interfaces for users and applications. Striking a balance between these goals is crucial for its evolution, where APIs play a critical role for enabling better features without sacrificing efficiency. In conclusion, while cloud operating systems strive for accessibility and user-friendly experiences through high levels of abstraction, there remains room for improvement for finding the right balance. Currently, cloud operating systems represent a relatively new technology. With what it has achieved so far, one can only imagine the boundless possibilities that lie ahead in its evolution, as it promises seamless computing across devices and locations, transcending physical boundaries.
Let's continue with Windows. Windows is an operating system developed by Microsoft, which has become one of the most used in the world. This operating system is single user. It means that it is designed to support and manage the needs of a single user at once. Requirements. The hardware requirements for the various versions of Windows have evolved significantly over time, and it depends on the version we have. We can see how they have increased from 256 kilobytes of RAM necessary for Windows 1.0 to 1 GB of RAM necessary for Windows 7. General aspects. Windows is a versatile operating system used on desktop and laptop computers. Ideally, a 64-bit architecture is preferred for optimal operating system performance, especially in terms of processing power and memory. Evolution. We have many versions of Windows, starting with Windows 1.0, Windows 3.0, Windows 95, Windows 98, Windows 2000, Windows XP, Windows Vista, and Windows 7. Architecture. Windows was first based on DOS and later on the anti-kernel. This transition occurred in the XP era, which significantly improved system stability and performance, because the anti-kernel allows multitasking and protected memory management. Also, Windows has a user space that interacts with the kernel through system calls and function libraries and shared resources. Conclusion. Windows continues to be widely used in business and home environments due to its compatibility with a wide range of software and hardware. Although the price may vary, Microsoft offers flexible licensing options, offering access to Windows and other services for a monthly fee. Additionally, Microsoft has implemented a regular update cycle for Windows, releasing new versions with security, feature, and performance improvements, making it a very robust operating system today.
Unix. Unix is a multi-user operating system that allows multiple users to access and utilize the system simultaneously. Each user has their own working environment and can execute programs independently. This makes Unix ideal for network environments and servers where efficient resource sharing among multiple users is required. Requirements. Throughout its evolution, Unix has been designed to function on a wide variety of hardware, ranging from PDP-7 systems to modern architectures such as ARM. The hardware requirements for Unix vary depending on the specific version and configuration. In general, compatible hardware that meets Unix architecture specifications is necessary for optimal performance. General aspects. Unix is a versatile operating system used across a wide range of devices, from high-performance servers to workstations and embedded devices. Its architecture is designed to efficiently operate on different types of hardware, providing stability, security, although flexibility. Originally developed for mainframes, Unix has adapted to desktop and laptop environments, showcasing its versatility. Unix remains widely used due to its stability, security, and flexibility. Despite potentially higher costs compared to other operating systems, Unix's robustness and adaptability makes it attractive for critical environments where reliability is paramount.
Finally, we have Windows Phone. Windows Phone was a mobile operating system developed by Microsoft as a part of the Windows family of operating systems. It was officially launched in 2010 as a single-user operating system focused on the individual user experience on mobile devices. Requirements. Throughout its evolution, Windows Phone increased its requirements in each version. We can see how in Windows Phone 7 we needed only 256 MB of RAM, and in Windows 10 Mobile we need 1 GB of RAM. General aspects. Windows Phone is designed for mobile devices such as smartphones and tablets. Its ideal hardware operation architecture focuses on the use of the Windows anti-kernel as the basis for its operations, since this kernel allows efficient interaction with the device hardware. Evolution. Windows Phone had several versions such as Windows Phone 7, Windows Phone 7.5, Windows Phone 7.8, Windows Phone 8, Windows Phone 8.1, Windows Phone 10, but the most notable is Windows Phone 8, where the transition from the Windows Compact Edition kernel to the Windows NT kernel is presented. This transition allowed for a greater integration with the Windows ecosystem and greater application compatibility. Conclusion: Windows Phone OS today has suffered due to lack of updates, limited support, and competition from more popular operating systems. Although it may offer a cheaper option in some cases, the lack of active development and updates has negatively impacted the user experience and perception of value by users. Thank you very much.